This is World Warriors of Capcom Cup Player Showcase. It's a showcase of the 32 players who will be playing at the Capcom Cup.
That's right.
In December, the weekend of December 5th through 6th to be exact, in San Francisco. My name is Alter David.
And I am James Chen. If you guys don't know much about the Capcom Cup or Pro Tour, or you just want to hear about some of the cool storylines about, this year-long tournament event, you can check this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Capcom Fighters TV. Find the intro video that we did. But we are going to be focusing on the players for this video.
Who are we going to be talking about today?
We are going to be talking about, in my opinion, one of the best players in the United States right now.
Okay.
And that is a young fellow by the name of NuckleDu.
Ah, I see. Liquid NuckleDu.
Yes, he is a very new player to Street Fighter. Obviously, he's definitely a younger player. It's really cool because it's one of those situations where I see him and I see like future of Street Fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna be around for many years, and
He certainly can be if he wants to be.
yeah. And he has definitely made a name for himself. It's kind of interesting too, because if you guys remember, last year at the Capcom Pro Tour, Capcom Cup, he qualified. He was one of the 16 players, and he did it by getting most of his points through the online events.
Right.
And do you remember everyone was like, "Oh, fraud!
I do.
Yeah, he conned his way in or
Yeah.
something, and a lot of people didn't think he deserved it to make it in there." Well, he's come back in 2015 and pretty much just silenced everybody because, like I said, there were some points in time during this year where I legitimately felt like he was the best U.S. player. Out of all of the U.S. players. So.
I don't think that's unreasonable at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He is a younger player, but at this point, he has been one of the sort of threats to win any tournament for a good 3 years, I would say.
Yeah.
Good 3-4 years. Although he is younger, he has a ton of experience at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at Capcom Cup and he was at the Shindig before that, and he really has been one of the top players, I think, for some time.
Yeah. One of the things that I love about what NuckleDu has done with his game recently is last year I remember he was always just a guile player. He was just a guile player, and of course there's the standard comment about NuckleDu, "Oh, he's a crazy guile. He doesn't play like standard guile," or whatever. The biggest problem he had last year is I still remember some tournaments where he tried secondary characters like Akuma and Cammy, and they were not good.
Yeah.
They did not do well. Well, this year with Ultra, he has added DeCapre to his repertoire, and I think he plays one of the best DeCapres on the planet.
I agree.
And it just fits him so well, that kind of, I want to call it childlike, reckless abandon kind of style that he has, Sorry to keep referring to his age and stuff like that, but the reason why I bring it up is because a lot of people playing Street Fighter have a lot of preconceived notions. Guile is supposed to be turtley, he's supposed to be defensive. I feel like that's why NuckleDu kind of bucked a lot of those trends, because he doesn't have those same kind of preconceived notions. He was able to look at everything from a fresh perspective, and I think that served really well with a character like DeCapre, who not a lot of people knew what she was supposed to do at first, and I think he's figured it out really well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Certainly he's one of the best guiles in the world. I think you're right about his DeCapre as well. In general, his play style is it is more active, I think, than a lot of people's. It's more, he bullies better than most people. He knows when to take risks, but at the same time, his spacing is excellent.
Yes,
excellent spacing. He throws sonic booms or whatever it is, scrambles, etc.
Right.
From the right ranges.
Right.
I mean, he really does.
And with the right timing, too.
And the right
He
timing.
really has that understanding of timing.
Yeah.
We'll see that in the match later on, that when we get to the match. So.
Exactly. Yeah. You mentioned his year so far with DeCapre as well as with Guile. Let's talk about what he's done in Ultra Street Fighter 4. So, going back to last year, 2014, at UFGT 10, he got 5th. At CEO 13th. Then at EVO, he got 17th. At First Attack, he got 2nd place. Summer Jam, 4th place. Guts, 2nd place. Fall Classic, 4th place. Then NEC 25th was the end of well, I guess he also was in Hadoken, and he won Hadoken. And he was in Capcom Cup, as you said, last year.
Right.
He got 9th place, which is the best of any American player at Capcom Cup.
Except for PR Balrog.
Except for PR
Balrog.
He got second. He was number 2 in American players.
Yep.
Fantastic. It's pretty tough in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Apex 2015, first place. South by Southwest, 13th. Final round, 18th, 13th. NorCal Regionals, 3rd. Texas Showdown, 13th. Combo Breaker, first place. Then at CEO, he got 9th. Evo this year, 7th place. He was top 8. Yeah, out of 2,200 folks.
Yep, top 8. Only 2 Americans, I believe, made top 8 that year. It was him and PR Balrog.
That's right. EGL Dallas, he won. Summer Jam, 13th. First Attack, 9th. Fall Classic, 9th. Absolute Battle 6th, first place. SCR, 25th. And then recently Defend the North, he got 3rd place.
Yeah, I remember around Evo time is when I was really on the NuckleDu train, right? And then after Evo, things kind of tapered off for a little bit, but I know that he also had some personal issues that he was going through such, but I feel like he's getting back there, and I feel like he should be ready for Capcom Cup. In fact, I would expect him to do really well at this tournament.
I agree. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how his Guile does. It's just an unusual Guile, as we mentioned, but on top of that, DeCaprio is a character that a lot of people, I think, are still figuring out how to play with and against. And, there are other people in Capcom Cup who play with DeCaprio. Infiltration has spent a lot of time with her, for example, but she is still rare in high-level play.
She's
not that she's bad, it's just a rarity factor.
It's really interesting because she just has a ton of tools. So she's really open to interpretation. Right? Different people use her very, very differently. And I really like Knuckles' styles because he's really crafty with the scramble, the little teleport dashes that she has. But, it's really interesting to me because, DeCaprio, because she has all these different ways to play, there's even some people who think that she's like top 3 in the game. I know some people who don't think that she's very good at all. Right. So that kind of goes with your statement that, people are still trying to figure this character out. But, watching NuckleDu play her, I feel like she is a really, really, really solid character.
I think so, too. So the video we're going to watch is NuckleDu versus Ricky Ortiz from Combo Breaker. Despite talking about DeCaprio, actually he uses Guile.
Right.
But in this match, we're going to see a lot of Du's strengths. The offense, the spacing, sort of the bets, all that stuff is there. It will be the second set of grand finals. NuckleDu was coming from losers and won the first set against Ricky pretty convincingly.
Right, so Ricky was using Rufus throughout the first set, and then she switches at the start of the second set here. So
exactly.
Let's jump right into here. So one of the reasons why we, like you said, we wanted to really showcase this match in particular was just because, he uses Guile in a very different way, and it really, really shows the kind of personality that he has. Like, it's funny too because he's also known for taunting, putting on the shades with Guile in matches and stuff like that. But I like that. It's kind of he says he does it to hype himself up. It's not necessarily that he's trying to be mean or anything or disrespectful, but he does it a lot, and I like that kind of gumption from him.
So I feel like part of why Ricky went with Rolento here is because Rolento has some good mid-range stuff and can build meter all right, but then up close pressures well and can really blow up Guile's wake up with very ambiguous jump fears, that sort of stuff. So pay attention to how NuckleDu deals with that. One is by being on offense like most of the time. Look at that dash forward. He knows the character. He knows the options that Ricky can bring to bear.
Yeah, we've even already seen an air-to-air to challenge Rolento, and we're going to see some really good sonic boom timings from him, especially with Rolento, who has the ability to Ultra 2 right through the sonic boom, if he can read it fast enough. But see, he's throwing him at this timing that Ricky is not quite ready to see. Every single time he's throwing it on this offbeat, and here he is, just waiting, and he read that timing perfectly.
It was amazing,
It was perfect timing. Ricky just crouched and waited, then started walking forward, and he knew that because she was holding forward on the controller, wasn't pumping the joystick, that was the time to throw the Sonic Boom.
Right.
And that's what took it.
Yeah, Du is always trying to challenge, as you can see, always trying to be active. You know, he goes in when he has a chance.
Yeah, not content to sit back.
Yeah,
even with Guile, which is, reputation-wise, that was actually
pretty tricky.
That's a sick frame trap.
Yeah.
But reputation-wise, Guile is tends to be a very defensive, standstill character, but knew the distance, knew the timing.
Even for somebody like Ricky, who I think has excellent reactions, that's still tough. That's still tough, and especially with that little bit weird timing. Yeah, it's hard to go through that.
Yeah, especially at that range too. NuckleDu knew that at that range it wasn't going to be that it was a better chance of it being safe. That's one of those situations where that if Ricky did get the Ultra through the Sonic Boom, you're just like, good on her. You know what I mean? Just like you just applaud, move on.
So there you see NuckleDu on the right, Team Liquid. At Combo Breaker, and I think it's a testament to how well he plays that Ricky is there. I don't remember who she's talking to here, but
it's Justin.
Was it Justin? That's what I thought. That sort of Ricky and Justin, two of the all-time greatest American fighting game players, have to combine mental forces here.
Well, they definitely do not like fighting Guile. They have a lot of experience going up against Dominion with Rufus, and I know they don't like that, so that's probably why
Rufus
Ricky is
Guile,
going with Rolento in this situation. But, I mean, to be fair to Ricky, you can tell that her Rolento's not quite there yet. She has a lot of mistimings and, a few things here and there that it seems like she's not quite familiar with the character yet, but... Yeah. It just doesn't look like NuckleDu is having any problems dealing with the character.
No, look at this. He's moved Ricky all the way back into the corner. I love the jump timings that he's using. He is maintaining control here.
Yeah, and Rolento is a character that's known for being very mobile, for controlling tempo, for being hard to lock down, and NuckleDu has just done a really great job locking Rolento down.
And another thing I love that he did in that round is after he had that great corner pressure, he saw Ricky, had the crouching jab into the EX, right? And so Du was like, okay, fine, I'll back off. And he backed off to the exact range where if Rolento jumped, Du would get flash kick.
Right.
Perfect spot.
Oh, and okay, that's another thing. I mean, I use the term reckless abandon, and it's kind of unfair to NuckleDu because he's not a crazy player. No. He's just very brave. He's gutsy. And so, Rolento's Jump Fierce is basically the new jump attack of the gods in this game. And he challenges it with low fears. He doesn't have any problems with that. And so I just like that NuckleDu is so willing to challenge things.
I love this. That is such a representation of his willingness to challenge. Jump. Okay, fine, I'll block once, but then I'm going to jump.
Yep. Yeah, NuckleDu. And we've often said this before with other players, such as Bonchan with Sagat. But look, Guile is not a mobile character. And whenever you see a player who really understands their character, they make them so much more mobile than they really are.
Yeah.
So that, with Bonchan uses Sagat, Sagat looks like he flies around the screen. And I feel that way about NuckleDu's Guile as well. He definitely moves around a lot more. You expect to see Guile's crouching and being stationary, like this. But then jump forward. Okay, let me jump forward again. And then he backs off. He's really good at mixing between offense and defense. It's so good. Yeah, see, challenging the roll.
Yep, crouching jab there.
You're walking forward and just maintaining that space. The being away from the corner is so important for Guile. That's the second time he's been right outside.
I know,
this range.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah, and had the right punish.
Oh, I love that he jumps out. It's so hard for Guile to get out of the corner, and he had just the perfect read on that.
And there was nothing that Ricky could have done in that situation, so that was going to get taken out.
So it's 2-0 for NuckleDu. And now Ricky's going to go back to the character select screen, land on Rufus, and we're going to get to see part of why she does not like using this character in this matchup. It's just NuckleDu's spots on screen are just think about Rufus's angles of attack with the dive kick.
Right.
He is just outside of those, almost always.
And it's interesting too because I know a lot of Rufuses don't like this matchup because Guile is generally can be kind of like a wall for playing that defensive style. But NuckleDu doesn't even win this match necessarily that way.
He's active, but he's certainly playing defense in this match. I mean,
But I mean, we'll see the results of this round, and he's just landing hits all over the place.
Again, look at you see what I'm talking about that range? Perfect range.
So goes in and just knew that Ricky wanted to jump in that situation, and there it is, going in for the frame traps, teching the throw. Ricky still not safe from, guess what? The stun. Oh wait, no, I don't know if Ricky...
No, I think it's just a win.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I remembered it was a perfect, and I don't want to believe it was a perfect without a stun.
It was just
but
perfect.
There was no stun there.
Yeah.
So
there was a lot of great movement from NuckleDu there. Sobat's moving him backwards, jumping forward a lot, picking the right spots. And very much the same from the start. I love the range he's keeping. It's so tough for Ricky to move forward.
Oh, on the air-to-air. Oh, so good.
The reactions for that.
Different look. It's just a different look. It's so hard. That's when Guile is at his best, is when he is mixing up all the different anti-air options. And look at that. You saw Ricky dashing forward. He challenged with the wake-up low jab because he knew that Ricky wasn't in the best position.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was a great punish.
For sure.
That was a great punish. So Ricky with a chance here to stave off NuckleDu's victory.
And then NuckleDu with the fake sonic boom, the crouching jab, and then I love it. Yeah, just completely understood the situation. Knew what Ricky was going to go for, and put himself in the right spot to take advantage of it. So that video, I think, kind of is unfortunate for Ricky that she shows up on one of these videos and it's a blow up. We wanted to show that one because I really think it shows Du bullying, which he does well. Spacing is there. There are moments where he switches back and forth between offense and defense. We saw corner control as he can do, like few other Guiles. I mean, it was just a very NuckleDu set.
Right. And, the funny thing is, there is definitely a potential that we're going to get to Capcom Cup and not even see him play Guile at all. He could go with DiCaprio the whole time. But like I said, that's what's really beautiful about it because, like I said, when he used to play Guile, previously to Ultra, there were some bad matchups for him. Guile was susceptible to a lot more unblockable stuff. The late wake-up helped him a lot and such. But, he tried secondary characters, and it didn't go well at all. And, if we wanted to talk about weaknesses for NuckleDu, that would have been the number one thing. But I feel like he's just taken that hole and just plugged it up with, the most solid anti-leak, whatever material.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's in such a good position right now because not only does he have Guile and DiCaprio, but they both give such different looks to the opponent the way he uses them.
Yeah, they cover different character matchups. They cover different opponent play styles.
Right.
He really has a lot to choose from there. At Capcom Cup, what do you think about his chances?
I like them.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think, I'm not going to sit here and say he has a great chance to win Capcom Cup.
Okay.
I think he has a really strong chance to do well. I would not be surprised if he did the best out of all the U.S. players there. Let's talk about, for example, you mentioned at the Fall Classic, he got 4th place, I think. And remember that tournament? That was the event where Pepidai came into town. And Pepidai was blowing up a lot of people. This was in 2014.
This is
2014. Yeah. Pepidai was blowing up a lot of people. And NuckleDu was one of the people to defeat him. He was the one who eliminated him and caught him off guard. So I feel like he has that ability. I don't feel like he might... I don't even know if he'll have that same nervousness that a lot of other players has. You know what I mean? And now he's made it to top 8 in EVO.
Yeah.
So I just feel like he's mentally in such a good position for this. So.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard for me to find specific spots of vulnerability as well. I think you're right. He has a great chance among the Americans to do the best of them. I think you're probably also right. I'm not sure he would win Capcom Cup. I could totally see a top 8 placing. I could see it, a top 4 finish. that kind of thing I think is totally doable. He has a style that I just think is tough for a lot of people to deal with. So it'll be interesting to see how some of those players who are accustomed to dealing with different guiles or different decapres or no decapres, you know, one of those two, approach him.
Yeah, because I want to say like, oh, you know, someone with good fundamentals will take out NuckleDu or whatever like that. But don't forget at EVO. Now, granted, it was kind of a miraculous comeback win, but he beat Fudo.
He did.
He put himself in the position where he could beat Fudo at EVO, and he kind of stole it at the end there.
Whatever.
But you don't get into that position to steal something by getting lucky the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, he played really solidly versus Fudo, and he took him out at EVO, right? And you cannot find a player more fundamentally sound than Fudo.
Right.
And so I can't even sit here and be like, oh, well, Daigo will probably body NuckleDu, you know, because of fundamentals or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I like his bravery. I like his willingness to just go at you.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll see how he does. It's going to be at the Capcom Cup, weekend of December 5th through 6th at the PlayStation Experience in San Francisco. We'll be there. You can be there too. But if not, it will be on stream at twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters. Also follow them on Twitter at Capcom Fighters.
Yeah, if you can't make it, try to buy a ticket for there. It's going to be such a blast. And also, you know, as you mentioned, you know, follow them on Twitter and on Twitch so you'll know exactly when it starts up, because yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Also, we talk about video games sometimes. Come check our stuff out at twitch.tv and youtube.com/UltraChenTV.
Yeah, we run all the gamut. We have very in-depth videos where we talk about, where we break down, you know, high-level strategies. We have a lot of beginner videos there as well to help you learn Street Fighter, how to play, you know, how to try to think like you know, the way you should be thinking during matches, etc. And then every Tuesday we do a live broadcast and we just talk about everything fighting game community that's been going on for the past week.
That's right. That's right. Check that out if you're interested. Regardless, we'll see you at Capcom Cup. Enjoy it.